Welcome in everybody to some JCM Wrestling. Today, I'm going to be doing my WrestleMania 32 review. WrestleMania 32 is in the books, and all honesty, it was a show. It was some parts entertaining, some parts I was kind of like, what the fuck is going on? I do believe it's not as bad as a lot of people have been saying over Twitter and things like that. A lot of people have said this is really bad. A lot of people said this is like a WrestleMania 29. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was as bad as a lot of people were saying, but let's just get into this. There was some crazy fucking moments on this show. I popped like a fucking bitch sometimes, for a few moments, and we nearly had a guy just fucking kill himself at the expense of our entertainment. It was crazy. So, obviously, we still have the pre-show, and before I get into that, I think a lot of people that were actually attending the show had a lot of problems getting into the arena. I think a lot of people just could not get in. I think they had some problem like scanning tickets or something. So when it came to the first pre-show match, there was hardly anyone in the arena. Compared to like how it was filled, like when the show started, there was hardly anyone in the arena, and it just, all honestly, it wouldn't have made sense for Ryback just to win the title in front of nobody. Like, it would have been completely pointless for him to win it, but it was Kalisto versus Ryback. It was okay. The match finish, he did like a little drop toe hold into an exposed turnbuckle, hit his finisher. You know, it was there. I don't remember it. It was a little way to start the show, I guess, to keep you a bit entertained during the pre-show, because you know they're boring as fuck. It was okay. There was hardly anyone there. It happened. Like, it won't be remembered. Maybe Kalisto will get a slightly bigger platform heading into the next pay-per-view. Hopefully the United States Championship gets a bigger platform. You look at last year, John Cena had that fucking title, you know, and you know that's going to be one of the featured matches because John Cena's in it. Kind of shows that, you know, without a guy like John Cena, they don't really make an effort with a guy like that. So, yeah, it happened. I hope they get a big platform because it is a championship at the end of the day, and I don't want to see it go back into the ground like it was before because, well, it was bad. After that match, we had a little bit of a break, obviously. Then we went into the 10 women's wrestling, you could say now, tag match. Total Divas versus Bad and Blonde. It was alright. Like, it happened. Smooth transition at the end by Brie. Probably the best thing I've ever seen her done in the ring into Yes Lock. And she gets the win. She makes Naomi tap, and it happened. Crowd were booing the fuck out of Eva Marie. She had a couple of little spots, you could say, nothing crazy. She didn't fuck them up, thank God for that. But it happened. Total Divas won. You knew they were gonna win just to promote Total Divas. Nikki came out at the end to celebrate with Brie. I think it was actually Brie's last match. Thank God. And yeah, glad to see the fucking back of her. She is one of the poorest women's wrestlers I've ever seen. So, you know, thank you for finally leaving so I don't have to sit through any more of those fucking matches again. And then we went into the Usos versus the Dudleys. I thought this was going to be a good match. All honesty, it ended in like 5 minutes, and I was just like, what the fuck? Usos just won, pretty much. Like, it was nothing crazy. And then, you know, the crowd was so hyped, because a lot more people had come in, and the stadium was pretty much nearly full at this point. And a lot of people were, like, really excited to see the Dudleys put the Usos through the tables. The Usos aren't really over anymore. They are very boring. They've been the same now for like the past 3 years. And in the tag team division, especially with entertaining tag teams like the New Day, they've got to mix it up a little bit. And the Usos end up turning the tables on them and doing the dual splash. And fans weren't really happy about it. It just happened. Like you're like, oh, okay, getting into this match, and then it was just over. Like, that was it. So I was just like, right, okay, I guess it's over now. We had 10 minutes of promos. Don't know why they couldn't have had a little bit longer in the match, but you know, the Usos went over, and it was I didn't really care, to be honest. It was, you know, the Usos are the Usos. So the pre-show was a bit like, yeah, it happened. Nothing crazy. It was a pre-show, so you know they got the spot of the WrestleMania. May not be the spot that they wanted, because you wouldn't really want to be in a pre-show, but they were there. So after that, I was like, okay, right, we're getting into this main show. And we kick off things with the 7-man Intercontinental Championship ladder match. Owens, Zayn, Ziggler, Ryder, Sin Cara, The Miz, and Stardust. Now, heading into this, you would assume that Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens was going to take this. They are the two main rivalries. It would be a perfect IC title feud, and it would be great, and it would keep people interested in that title, elevate the title a little bit. It kind of shows that the IC title could be a stepping stone into bigger and better things, because let's face it, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are going to go into bigger and better things. They got huge ovations, and it was a very good match. It did exactly what it needed to be. I would say it was better than the last ladder match that we had last year. I would say it had more spots. These guys knew that they had to go out and they really had to put their bodies on the line. And it just had to be a car crash, and it was great. It was very fun to watch. Fucking Sami Zayn went crazy. He fucking dives through a ladder, comes back through, does that vintage through the ropes to a swinging DDT. It was fucking beautiful, and it was great. And, you know, there was a really good suplex he did, and I legit, me and the other people that I was watching the show with, we actually thought Kevin Owens was injured, but from this suplex he took, it looked brutal. And I don't know if he actually is or not. I still don't really know. But it was fucking brutal. It was really good. It looks like Sami Zayn's going to win. And then The Miz just sort of comes in. And you're like, oh shit. This is happening. And not long before, Zack Ryder has already done a huge elbow off the top of the ladder. So you're like, The Miz is actually going to win this. You're like, holy shit. He sits at the top, he's gloating about, you know, he's just about to win the IC title. He's actually sitting on top of the ladder. Next thing you know, Zack Ryder jumps in the ring. He runs up, he pushes The Miz off, and Zack Ryder becomes the new Intercontinental Champion. I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I'm not mad, but I'm not thrilled about this. I feel like he does deserve some kind of an opportunity, but he's done nothing for so long now, and they've just put a title on him. So it doesn't really make much sense. I'm kind of interested to see what they do with him. What are they going to do? Is he going to have a long run? Or is he just going to come to Monday Night Raw tonight and Kevin Owens just fucking takes it back? Either way, you know, it was a very good match. And I couldn't really be mad about it. Would have preferred a Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn to win just so I could see that feud. But, you know, it is what it is. Zack Ryder won, and it was good. It was a really, really good match. And it got me really excited, because I was like, wow, that was a really great start to the show. What else was going to follow this? And it was AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho. Felt like this was a good place for these guys to have their match. It was a good match. A lot of back and forth action. There was a couple of moments where it was like, it looked a little bit sloppy. But overall, it was a very solid match. Styles really started to showcase. He's really starting to get comfortable in that WWE ring and just showcase the talent that he is. And it was great. He really did well. I felt him and Jericho put on a fantastic performance. There's a couple of things that I do have a little issues with this match. Is the fact that Chris Jericho is already kicking out of the Styles Clash. I think he already did it Fastlane. If you have someone just join the company, you've got, like, the finisher has got to get over. And at the moment, the Styles Clash is not over. It sort of seems like a signature. He kicked out, and it was what it was. It was one of those things, a really good sequence to build into the Styles Clash. But he kicked out, and it was very predictable what was going to happen. He went for the phenomenal forearm, caught into a massive code breaker, and Chris Jericho got the win. And I was a little bit surprised, and I was kind of there like, what the fuck? It was very weird. I just didn't know what to think, because I was just like, you've got these new guys coming in, like, for Owens, Zayn, Jericho, and a lot of other people on this card. It's their first WrestleManias. It's their first ever WrestleMania match, and it was very surprising that they're losing their first Mania matches. especially after the pop they were getting. They got huge ovations, but Chris Jericho got the win, and I don't know really what this does. It doesn't seem like they've really kind of booked for the future here. Chris Jericho won. I don't know where this is going to go for Styles. We will see. Who knows? Who really knows, to be honest with you? Maybe they'll do another match on Raw tomorrow night, or tonight, should I say, and that'll be okay. But, you know, I kind of feel like the feud is done. I really do think Styles should have come out and Jericho should have put him over. I know Jericho puts over a lot of people, but kind of made sense to do it here. AJ Styles been in the company, 2-3 months, and, you know, he's lost his first WrestleMania, so I was a little bit down after that, because I was like, well, that's a really bad booking decision. But to lighten the mood, the New Day come out, and it's the New Day versus the League of Nations. The New Day come out in a giant box of bootios. It's a great entrance. It was a fun entrance. It's always a good time with the New Day. Just so entertaining. You just cannot be entertained. And, you know, League of Nations, which the League of Nations, I was under the impression it was a 4-on-3 handicap match, but they changed it into a 6-man. Barrett was at ringside, and I was just like, oh, well, that sucks. This is probably going to be Barrett's last WrestleMania, and yeah, he's just going to be at ringside for it. And it was a decent match. It was okay. It wasn't bad, but it certainly wasn't good. I felt as if the New Day weren't in it for a lot of it. I felt as if important players, guys, like Big E, for example, in the New Day is like one of the main wrestlers. Xavier's normally just outside the ring, it's normally Kofi and Big E, but it seemed like Xavier got most of the in-ring time. I can't remember who took the pin, but I know Big E was in the match for a very short amount of time, and I was very surprised that they had the League of Nations win, and I was like, what the fuck is going on right now? Still not entirely sure about the booking. It was weird. I don't know why they won. They've done nothing, the League of Nations, and now they're winning just a big match as the tag champs. It was weird to me, but what happened next? My god, did this make me fucking pop. The League of Nations, they get on the mic, and you know someone's going to come out. You know something's about to go down. They're saying how past or present, nobody can beat them. And out comes Mr. Showstopper, Mr. WrestleMania, Shawn Michaels, and he comes out in his fucking ring gear, and I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck are we about to witness right now? He's in his ring gear, and then out comes Mick Foley in his Cactus Jack attire, and I'm like, oh shit, are we about to see some kind of a Legends versus the League of Nations match? And then obviously Stone Cold hits, the glass shatters, the crowd fucking pop. He's not in his ring gear, so you're like, oh, okay, so this is just going to be some straight up fight. They get in there, and they just tear it up. Shawn is just fucking going at it, Foley going at it, people getting stunned, super kicked, Mr. Stocko. Shawn looked in just amazing shape. Like, he honestly looked like he could just have a match on the WrestleMania card. They could just pick a guy out of the crowd. He could have a 5-star match. He looked amazing in there, and it was great. And then afterwards, they sort of had a little bit of celebration with the New Day. Xavier, sort of got Stone Cold to dance, and, you know, he started going, but you never trust the rattlesnake. Out of nowhere, he smacks him with a stunner. It was a really good segment. It was classic. It was a great WrestleMania moment. We were kind of wondering, what are these legends going to be doing on the show? And my god, that was great. I hope they kind of do some more things like that in the coming WrestleManias. That was a really fun segment, and it was great. It kind of made up for the fact that the New Day lost. You know, New Day, the most over tag team I've seen since The Shield, and it was very surprising to see them lose. But it was great to see Shawn, Foley, and Stone Cold just in there cleaning house. It was great, and it was going to be very tough to follow. And the match that followed it was the no-holds-barred street fight, one of the 3 key main events that the WWE was so focused on building up. Brock Lesnar versus Dean Ambrose. I really thought this match was going to steal the show, and I was left pretty disappointed, to be honest with you. It really wasn't that much of a street fight. A street fight, I thought they were going to fight absolutely everywhere. I thought they were going to tear the ring apart. But they had pretty much no time. It was very surprising that they didn't give a guy that they've invested so much into, like Brock Lesnar, time. And that was surprising to me. I really did believe that Brock and Dean were going to get some good time here. They built it up very well. It was one out of the two matches that was actually built up incredibly well on this show. And, it was okay. There was a couple of okay moments. I don't get why they did the segments on Raw where he got the chains of Terry Funk and the barbed wire bat off Mick Foley. He didn't use either of them. He literally got him out from underneath the ring, kind of showed people. He's just like, I got given these, never used them. And then, before you know it, the match is over after an F5 on some chairs. I think he took about 13 suplexes, and I was just like, that was disappointing. It ended. It was just done, and I didn't really know what to do after that, because I was like, right, that's one of the 3 main events, and yeah, it was just so short, and I was like, just very surprised that these guys didn't get time. I don't know if this elevated Dean Ambrose enough as what it was intended to do. Certainly didn't really do Lesnar any favors, so we'll see where this goes, because, yeah, it happened. Nothing really happened there. Now, obviously, earlier in the show, Lita unveiled the new Women's Championship, which is just like a white strap version of the World Championship, and I think it looks great. It's what it should be, and it's actually a legit title, not some pink butterfly shit. It's a legit title for the women's division, and this could be a real turning point for them. I was thinking going into this match, these girls out there, they have to steal the show. They have to do something here. They have to have a great match, because if they don't, this whole Divas Revolution thing has been pointless. And that's the truth. These 3 divas are the best 3 divas, or should I say women's wrestlers on the planet today. And you knew they were going to go out there, and you knew they were either going to tear the house down, or it was just going to be like a bit like meh. A lot of Divas triple threats have been poor in the past. One I can recall in the Japan special, I think it was Naomi, Paige, and Nikki Bella, and it was fucking terrible. And I was just hoping that match tonight was not going to be like that. And let me tell you, it has to be one of the better matches of the night. It was a good match. There was some really good spots, like Charlotte in the moonsault, Sasha hitting a frog splash, some really good sequences, and it was great. It was a really close triple threat. Not a huge fan of the ending, but it was still a fantastic match. They should be proud of themselves, and I'm actually kind of excited to see what's happening with the women's division. I have never been excited for it. I'm going to be honest with you, I've had no reason to. The matches have been so poor. The women just have not been able to wrestle well. And it simply just has not been entertaining. And these divas have kind of come along, and they've proved that women can wrestle. Just need the right opponents. Hopefully Bayley will debut tonight, and, Charlotte won. I wasn't a huge fan of Charlotte winning. I do feel like it was a good time to really have Sasha go over. You think she's going to win. She has some huge entrance with Snoop. The confetti everywhere. It was great. Snoop like this, you rapping her out there. It was great. She sort of has like a live performance of her theme. And I was very, very surprised that she did not win. It was a fantastic time for her to win. Charlotte won with the help of Rick. It just happened. I don't like it at WrestleManias when there's interference in matches, and unless it's the main event of the show and you've got Roman Reigns in a match for the world title. But I'm just not a big fan of it. I prefer just a clean winner here, and do we really get that? I don't know. I really do think it's one of those things. Ric Flair's out there supporting Charlotte. I'm sure it's great for them, but I think the sooner they separate the pair, the better. And I think they'll be able to shine a little bit more. But apart from really the complaint about the winner, like I said, I do think Charlotte shouldn't have won. But it happened. But nevertheless, they still had a good match. They have a bright future, this women's division. This new championship is looking great. Hopefully it's the start of something special for them. So that was a really good match. And then you see the Hell in a Cell lowering, and you're like, holy shit, what the fuck are we about to witness? And my God, what we witnessed, I never imagined. Coming out, Shane comes out with his sons. He literally puts his sons in the front row. So I'm thinking, maybe he's not going to do anything too crazy here. But I was simply left speechless after what he did. Obviously, Taker comes out. It was a very slow match to start with, and it was okay. I was a little bit bored to start with, to be honest with you. I was really excited for this match, but it was very slow. And it kind of shows Taker can't work like he used to. It's just the fact. He's getting old now, and I really think next year should be his last year. Obviously, Shane isn't a wrestler, so it was one of those things. They were doing the best they could. It was pretty boring to start with. It was very slow. And then you see Shane, he hits the coast to coast, great. And then he gets some cutters, and he starts loosening the bolts in this Hell in a Cell. And you're just thinking, oh shit, it's about to go down. Taker basically does a little sort of spear, I guess you could say, a variation of it. He just powers him through it. They're fighting a little bit. There was a decent spot where they were on top of some little platform from right next to an announce table. Shane's got the sleep hold in. Taker's just basically jumped backwards, put Shane through it. And then Shane hits him with his toolbox a couple of times. And he's Taker's slung over some announce table. And you see Shane looking up at the top of the cell. And I'm thinking, there's no way he's going to do this. And then he hits him with the monitor. And he starts climbing up the cage. And I'm thinking, oh shit, what the fuck are we about to witness here? It was crazy. He's climbing. The crowd are chanting, please don't die. Because we all know what happened before when someone fell off it. With Mick Foley, it fucking destroyed him. So you've got Shane, who's come back after being away from the company for 6-7 years? He hasn't wrestled in God knows how long, never has been a full-time wrestler to begin with. He's climbing this Hell in a Cell. You see Taker down there. He's actually standing right at the top. He fucking prays, and he leaps. He jumps off the Hell in a Cell, and I'm fucking going crazy. Everyone's going crazy, because we're like, holy fucking shit. He jumps off, Taker moves out the way, and Shane has just done splat straight through the announce table. It was absolutely insane. It's probably one of the best spots, the most extreme spot in the PG era, and probably the most extreme spot I've witnessed live. Not many extreme moments on live pay-per-views, I'm going to be honest with you, there really isn't. A lot of Hell in a Cell matches have been pretty dull recently. There's been a couple of good ones like 2015, but let's face it, there's been a lot of boring ones, and Shane, who isn't even a wrestler, has thrown himself off this Hell in a Cell 20 plus feet in the air of WrestleMania, and it was absolutely insane. I lost my shit just thinking about it. I'm still going crazy. He's got his fucking wife, his mom, his 3 kids. He's got his family watching. He's got his fucking dad watching on the monitors backstage. And he has just gone planting through this table. And you're thinking, my fucking God, what the hell next? It was crazy. I was just amazed. I was like, holy shit. There was always a possibility something could happen, but you kind of think, well, would Vince McMahon really throw his son off a Hell in a Cell to save WrestleMania? And now we know the answer is yes. I don't know what happens from now on. Taker took him into the ring. Shane, showed some heart and just got tombstone. Taker won. Now we know Taker, it's not Taker's last WrestleMania, but the sad thing is, Shane is going to be taking over Raw, and it didn't really show any progression to storyline. I was surprised Vince McMahon wasn't actually out there. He was heavily involved in the storyline. He was nowhere to be seen the entire show. And it was crazy. It was fucking crazy. It really made that match, because I'm going to be honest with you, if that didn't happen, it would not be a memorable match, and it would probably go down to one of Taker's worst matches. But my fucking God, Shane just died. He had to be literally put on a stretcher and put onto some kind of vehicle thing that they carry people out on. Carried out. He gave the people a thumbs up and that on his way out, but that was fucking surreal. I've just got to applaud him for that. Wrestlers who wrestle full time wouldn't be willing to do that. This guy's come back and he just, he nearly died for people, and it was so entertaining to watch. I don't know where this goes though with the storyline. That's the one issue. Where do they go with the storyline? Will Shane get another chance? Is that the last we've seen of Shane? Has he kind of just come back for that little bit? Will he maybe have a rematch with Taker at SummerSlam? Who fucking knows? It's going to be hard to top what they just did, just because of the significance of that one spot. That sort of thing hasn't happened since Mankind in 1998, 18 years ago, and it was surreal. And that is always going to be the highlight spot of this card, because it was like, holy fucking shit. It was crazy, and I just hope Shane's okay. I hope nothing is too serious. I hope he isn't injured that badly. He's obviously going to be hurt. I hope Taker's okay coming out of the match, and we'll see where this storyline kind of goes. Taker, for me, he's got one last WrestleMania in him, and I kind of only want to see him have that one last WrestleMania. He's done everything now, and he's kind of showing how slow he's getting in that ring. So we'll see how it goes. But my fucking god, Shane McMahon diving off that Hell in a Cell, I will never forget that. As a fan, I will never forget that. And I just can't thank him enough for just putting everything on the line. It was going to be tough to follow that. So coming off that Hell in a Cell, you're wondering what the fuck is going to top that. This guy's just jumped off the fucking Hell in a Cell. And it's the Andre the Giant Bow Memorial Royal. I can't even say it. But this was average. I'm gonna be. It was average. It was great seeing Baron Corbin coming out. That was good. I'm amazed he didn't get his own entrance, but it was good seeing him in there. It kind of went to kickoff panel, so you didn't really see a lot of the entrances. Obviously, Kane, Mark Henry, Big Show get their entrances, and you're hoping for a surprise. I'm thinking a Cesaro, a Cena is going to come out. It's so high up on the card, something big's going to happen. And then I just hear some Kanye music, and I'm like, what the hell's going on right now? I love Kanye, but why is some Kanye music playing? And fucking Shaquille O'Neal comes out, and I'm like, oh god, no. And naturally, they have some stare down with him and the Big Show yet again. They've done it for years. They've always teased this match. 2009, I maybe wouldn't have minded it. Could I be asked to sit through this kind of match now? Absolutely not. It happened. They got eliminated pretty much straight away, and I was glad. And it just happened. They eliminated a few members, and then I think they eliminated a few people, and then they went out, and it was just kind of like, yay, they're gone. It was okay. And then, the last two, it came down to Baron Corbin and Kane, and I'm thinking, dear Lord, please do not have Kane win this. This is Baron Corbin's moment on the biggest stage, a very high spot in the card. What a name he can make for himself if he wins this. And he throws Kane over and he wins, and I pop because I'm like, great, they've just made another star right now. Baron Corbin wins, and it was great. And he was the right person to win it because they had no one good in this. Previous years, they had a lot of good people in it. There was no one really that great in this. DDP came and he was gone. He had a couple of diamond cutters, which was great. You knew he wasn't going to win it. Tatanka was in it. Okay. Just a bunch of jobbers. Sandown was in it. Was in it for like a minute. But it was what it was. Baron Corbin, he was the right guy to win it. Makes him a star. And I hope that this is a sign of good things to come for him on the main roster, because it's a great debut. He's technically debuted at WrestleMania and won. And he's going on the main roster now. And hopefully they do something right, because the previous winners, they've done nothing with them. Like, Cesaro won it, and they sort of started pushing him, and they were like, do we push him, do we not? Gave him Paul Heyman, took Paul Heyman away from him, completely killed his push. Big Show won it. They did absolutely nothing with him, and it was kind of like, whatever. But it was average, but it was great to see Baron Corbin picking up that win. And then we went into a very interesting kind of segment in The Rock appearing. Now, it's lots of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, why are they out here? It doesn't really suit anyone, and The Rock just comes out, and I'm like, oh, alright, fair enough, here we go, it's The Rock. He goes back in, and then brings out like some fucking flamethrower, sets this rock sign on fire. Looks like he's having a blast. He comes down and he announces the attendance record, which is like, I think it's like 101,700 something. Legitly, there was probably about 95,000 people there, which is still impressive, but yeah, they did inflate that, obviously. But I really do believe this. I thought that was it. Like, his music hit after he announced it, and you're just like, that's it. He's been teasing this for months, that he's at this massively planned thing. I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, what the hell is going to happen here? Great. So we're going into this main event already, and I'm not looking forward to it. But then it stops, and he keeps talking, and the Wyatt family come out. I completely forget about the Wyatt family. I didn't think of them the entire show. They didn't even cross my mind, to be honest with you. They won. I thought they were in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, but they weren't, which was very surprising. I thought Braun Strowman was originally supposed to win it, but it looks like they just kind of scrapped that in the end. But the Wyatt family come out, and Bray Wyatt's like, I've come out here to destroy The Rock, and The Rock's just like, The Rock puts him over in a massive, massive way, and he's just like, listen, you guys are talented, all this, and then they look like they're about to fight, and The Rock's just like, we're not gonna fight tonight, we're gonna have a match. Rips off what he's wearing. He's just in his ring gear, gets his elbow pads chucked to him, and you're thinking, what the fuck? The Rock is gonna be wrestling a fucking match? I thought his filming was the reason why he couldn't compete. But technically, The Rock did have a match at WrestleMania. It may have lasted 6 seconds, but it's a match. Literally, the match starts, it's rock bottom, 1, 2, 3. Goodbye, Eric Rowan. And you got The Rock out here. He's just literally technically won a match at Mania. And I'm like, holy shit, we're about to see The Rock in a match. It's 6 seconds. And I'm like, okay, right. And obviously the Wyatt family on the ring apron. Something's about to go down. Someone's going to come out to make the save. I'm thinking it's Cena. But then I'm like, you could have the legends maybe come out again just for The Rock. And, they're about to fight. And then Cena's music hits. Music to my ears. I have missed him so much on Raws and the pay-per-views. It was great to see the ovation he got. And it was great. They unloaded. They took it to the Wyatt family. It was a fun segment. Cena hit an AA, Rock hit a Rock Bomb, People's Elbow, 5-knuckle shuffle. And then, Rock and Cena sort of posed how they sort of did at the end of WrestleMania 29. And it was a fun segment for me. I can understand why some people didn't like it, because some people are huge fans of the Wyatt family and don't appreciate how they're treated. I'm not going to say that they aren't treated poorly, because they are treated poorly. Just me being a fan of The Rock and Cena was just, it was fun for me. And, I enjoyed it. I can see why some people didn't, but at the end of the day, I enjoyed it, and that's what that matters to me. I'm sure a lot of other people did enjoy it. Some people aren't going to enjoy it, but for me, what they should do with the Wyatt family is just keep them off TV for ages, and just have them come back in some dominant way. Just have them take the titles. Just put like an IC title on like Strowman, maybe a US on like Rowan, maybe an IC on Bray, maybe even a world title on Bray. We'll see, but after this segment, I was pretty happy. And then the moment that, for me and a lot of other people, that I was dreading, Triple H versus Roman Reigns. Triple H has an amazing entrance. Stephanie cut some really good kind of promo thing for the match, and I kind of knew from the promo Reigns was going to win. They were kind of saying how Reigns is like the only hope, and I'm like, he's not the only hope. People don't want him. Triple H is our only hope, and it was a great entrance. Stephanie was looking fucking hot. I'm not going to lie, she looked really good out there. And comes out with Triple H. Triple H is looking good. He's got himself in great shape, and then Reigns comes out, and it's just like, right, whatever. He's getting booed the shit out of, which is great because he sucks. And the match was okay. I'm going to be honest. It was a lot of no-selling on the part of Reigns. The finish felt very anticlimactic. They were sort of going at it. He speared Stephanie. Which is probably, I don't know, it was okay, I guess. I don't know why people were so happy that he speared her. I don't really care, to be honest. It makes no difference to the match. I wasn't into the match. I know a lot of other people weren't. It was a pretty bad main event. I feel bad for Triple H. He's had some very good performances. And this just really did not live up to... I thought that this could be a good match. I really did. It's a match I kind of wanted to see for a while. Just not in the main event of, in their words, the biggest WrestleMania of all time, or for the WWE title. But it was a very anticlimactic finish. It was just like a spear. There was a spear through a barricade. But the problem I have with it was he just got chucked over an announce table. Triple H is just walking away out of nowhere. Reigns is just up. Like, it just hasn't affected him. And he's just run and speared him. And I knew he was going to win. Everything he did, he was getting booed. The crowd really weren't behind this match, especially at the start. But Triple H was pretty much like an ultimate babyface, and Roman Reigns won, and it pissed a lot of people off, and it's pissed me off, because there's so many other things you could have done. You could have even linked it with the Shane and Taker match, but they didn't, and they've chosen the way that no one wanted this show to end, and they've just gone, fuck it. Reigns, you're winning this. You're just going to go out there, you're going to win. There's no swerve. There's no Mr. Money in the Bank to save us this year. There is no Seth Rollins to save us this year. And he's won. And he got booed out of the building, and they turned the crowd mics down because of how badly he was getting booed. 90,000+ people booing the fuck out of him because he sucks and people don't want to fucking see him. And this really kind of killed a bit of the show for me, because I really thought, well, they could do a swerve here, but then I'm thinking, some of the poor booking I've already witnessed on this show, they're just going to have him win it and just go, fuck it. And it was bad. It was not a great match. I could have maybe accepted it a tiny bit if it was good, but it was a pretty dull match. It was, people were saying, why are people hating on this match? It wasn't good, and I'm going to be honest with you, only one out of these 3 key main events really delivered, and that's because Shane McMahon nearly fucking killed himself. Dean Ambrose, who is so loved by a lot of people, I think he's okay. I think he's pretty overrated, to be honest. That kind of showed it tonight. People thought this match was going to shit over the Triple H Reigns. I don't know which match was better, to be honest. They both fucking sucked. I thought it was going to be a no disqualification match all over WrestleMania Access all weekend. They were advertising, this is it, you are going to have a no disqualification match under all the fucking names and things like that. Under the match card it said no disqualification. I didn't see a no disqualification match. I saw a sledgehammer swerve become involved, but it didn't get used. One spear in the middle of that ring, and he wins. And show went way over time. It was only 5 hours, technically 7. With the pre-show, long time, and honestly, I just did not want to watch it anymore. It really pissed a lot of people off. That's why a lot of people just do not like this WrestleMania, is because he wins on the biggest WrestleMania of them all, and this is going to be remembered as the biggest WrestleMania no matter what. In a way, some of the things are great about this show, but the main event is certainly not one of them, and I think they got the main event wrong yet again with this show. It was bad, and coming off of 2 pretty good WrestleManias in 30 and 31, You know a bad WrestleMania is coming soon, and I don't think this is bad, but it certainly wasn't amazing and great like it should have been. It's bad. And it was a very kind of weird fucking show. I mean, who would imagine The Rock and the Wyatts having some kind of an exchange? Who imagined Chris Jericho going over? Who imagined Zack Ryder even being at WrestleMania? Like, let alone winning the IC title 2 weeks ago. He wasn't even booked on the show. He wasn't even going to be in the show. He was going to be in the crowd buying a ticket. Like, that's crazy to me. It was a very weird show. And the ending was just... the fans shit all over it. And I don't fucking blame them. I would have too. He sucks, Roman Reigns. He absolutely stinks the fucking place out. Comes out and you know he's gonna win. You know any match this motherfucker's involved in, he's going to win. And that's the bad thing for me. He's going to be winning so much, and I don't see anyone taking this title off him anytime soon. Who the hell is he gonna face at this next pay-per-view? What are they really gonna do? Because they have to do something right now. They have to. They have no choice. 90,000+ people booing this guy out of the arena. You can't tell me this is what you want. You want a face of the company. And even John Cena does not get booed that badly. He got a good ovation at WrestleMania. You know? And it's one of those things. He is not the guy. And they need to turn him heel tonight. They really do, because if they don't, then I don't know how much longer I can watch. And I kind of said if this show was bad, I was going to give up with the main product. And it gave me enough to keep watching. Just some of the classic moments I won't forget. I won't forget when, obviously, Shawn, Mick Foley, and Stone Cold came out. I won't forget the Rock and Cena segment. I certainly won't forget Shane McMahon nearly fucking dying. But... you know, it was one of those things. I don't know where we go from here. I really don't. This show really did not do much for the future. Guys like Styles, Owens, Zayn, Ambrose, New Day, a lot of these future people. What goes here? What happens to the Shane and Taker storyline? Where the hell do a lot of these guys go? Because... let's face it, this show really didn't do much and give us a lot to look forward to. This was a prime example of WWE saying, fuck you, you're going to take this. And once again, shoving this guy down our throats, and it's repelled. And it's not worked out in their favour. A heel turn is the best thing for Roman Reigns to do tonight. And if that doesn't happen, well, who knows? Who knows? Because let's face it, who the fuck wants to see Roman Reigns as WWE Champion? You know, I heard there's rumours he's going to be facing Bray for the title. I hope not. Don't get me wrong, I'd like to see Bray get a title opportunity. But I've just sat through so many Roman Reigns Bray Wyatt matches, and it's boring as fuck. Oh, coming out of this, I don't know where they go. I really don't. It's one of those things. Really, what do they do? What are we going to see tomorrow night? Or should I say tonight? If we're not going to be uploading it, will we see Balor Club? Will we see Samoa Joe? Will we see Bayley? Will we see Enzo and Cass? Will we see Baron Corbin? A lot of these popular guys and girls down at NXT. Will we see them? I don't know. But I'm going to give this probably about a C. If I'm going to grade this show, I'm giving it about a C. It was average, but it gave me some good moments for me to enjoy. I loved this show pretty much up until the Dean Ambrose Lesnar match. That kind of killed it. And then, obviously, the women's match kind of came back on, and obviously Shane Taker. I enjoyed... The Battle Royal, to be honest, sucked. In a way. Like, it was really average. There was so many, just below average pay-per-views. It was really one of those things. But overall, I'm going to give this show a C. I think that's a fair grade for this show. Some people may give it less. I can understand why. But ultimately, WWE have not given fans what they wanted, and that's what you're supposed to do at WrestleMania. This is the night of the year where you get these huge payoffs, and it doesn't feel like we got a lot of these huge payoffs. We'll see what happens with the Shane McMahon storyline. Will we even see Shane McMahon again, is the question. Was that the last we see of him? And if it is, my God, thank you for that. But we'll see Cena tomorrow night. Is he cleared to compete? We'll see, but let me know what you guys thought of WrestleMania 31 down in the comment section below. What do you see? What do you see tonight on Raw? Do you think anything big is going to happen? I have no idea, but I will see you guys in my next review. Peace.